Okay, hopefully this is working. Right now I'm in a very awkward position where I've got a headset on and an Oculus headset on, and I'm trying to listen through the speakers and the headphone, and I'm trying to look with my contact lenses to see if I can see the stream working, and frankly, it's a lot right now. It's a lot, but I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see what we're doing here and that the stream is actually working. And it looks like it is. So thank God for that. All right, yes, we're doing a stream in Microsoft Flight Simulator FS24 today. And that stream is going to be all about flying from our last destination in the Utah Alphabet Challenge, which was LaSalle Junction, which is a real airport in X-Plane. It's also a real airport in the world. But in the Microsoft Flight Simulator world, it is doesn't exist. So we located ourselves there using the Place Yourself option in Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. And we are on what I could best describe as the remnants of an airfield. And we picked a traditional tri-wheel Cessna 180 something for today, because we're going to be flying to Mineral Canyon. And Mineral Canyon we've been to before on the glide slope. And Mineral Canyon is a what can we call it? A challenging airstrip upon which to land. So we're going to do our best for that. Oops, there goes my mouse. This is the stuff that happens when you're in VR. Try to pick that up. Let's also see if I'm actually reading the chat. Yep, you can't see it, but I can see the chat in the VR headset, thanks to the wonders of current software. So we're going to try this flight, and we may end up just trying to navigate with Dead Reckoning on our way there. We'll see how it goes. But the goal is to fly into Mineral Canyon, which is a dirt strip on the edge of the Green River, just before you get to Canyonlands National Park. It is not for the faint of heart. We've flown in there in X-Plane. I'm really curious to see how it looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I have no real-world experience in a tailwheel aircraft. And so, the landing is going to be catch and catch can, I guess is how I would put it. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I'm not hearing any of that in my headset. Are you guys hearing any of that? I'm not getting any of that. So we got an audio problem. Let me fix that real quick. Hold on. This is comedy, if you guys could see what's going on right now. Comedy. Microsoft likes to change audio settings a lot without much warning. And I had the sound working a minute ago. Now it seems not to be. I want the speakers to be the default device. Speakers is the default device, and then I want to listen to nope. Not getting it. Let's try again. Hold on here. Not hearing anything. Right? Are you guys hearing anything? I'm not hearing anything. see here. Oh no, looks like you've got some audio. I'm just not hearing it. Okay, hold on, I'll fix it. Well, not quite sure here. Okay, the headphone's working. We're not getting any audio. Let's see here. We've got the mic. Sorry for this. It was working just a second ago. Okay. All right. It looks like you have some desktop. Okay, sounds like that's working. And the mic is working, which is good. Nope. Hold on. I can't hear the desktop audio, but you guys can. Now I think I'll get it. Huh. I don't know why this needs to be this complicated. It works most of the time. Okay. Now I can hear it. Now we got to make sure that you guys can hear it. We're almost there. Okay. I can hear it. You can hear it. We can all hear it. Let's hope it doesn't change again on us. That was awkward. Try to start a stream, make it all entertaining for people. Doesn't work. But you know what? The tagline for all flight simulation should be, it's always something. Okay, I can hear the fuel pump working. Let's add some mixture. Let's add some prop. Let's add a little throttle. Let's turn on the keys. And she fires up. That's good. Make sure the levels look okay. Yep, levels look okay. You guys can hear me all right, which is good. Might turn her down just a little bit. And my levels are good on top of it. Okay, so here's the tricky part. And yeah, there's always a tricky part. Tricky part is we don't really have a runway here. If we're being completely honest, this is not a runway. This is a rock-strewn thing that sort of approximates a runway in the real world. So we're going to try to taxi the old Cessna down there and see if we can actually get airborne with a short field takeoff. Chance for us to use that. If we wanted to, I also learned that how to push these buttons. You do it by pushing one of the buttons on. Yes, it's okay. There we go. So we should be able to actually, hopefully, do a direct to Mineral Canyon. Mineral Canyon in the real world. Sorry, I can't pull a 4-flight for you today because I haven't figured out how to do that in this thing quite yet. Mineral Canyon, if we're flying there in the real world, is UT75. So we should be able to go direct to touchy. Come on. T. Oh, crap. They can make it a little less touchy, don't you think? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. I'm going to try this one more time, then we're just going to eyeball it. That guy went backwards there. The dial goes both ways. Okay, we're close. All right. We have a course. Okay, so you can see the quality of the terrain and the conditions around us. We're going to try not to break anything. Last time I loaded in here, they had a giant rock over here by this house. Presumably we want to make a west takeoff here. We're facing east, so we're going to taxi way down there, and then we're going to see if we can't get airborne in this thing. I'm feeling like we're going to want full flaps. What's that? That's our tail oil. Cowl. Flaps. Let's see if my normal flaps handle that I have here in the real physical sim works. If I can find it. There it is. It does. Okay, so that's good. I can use that. Alright, so let's see if we can taxi down there without breaking anything. And again, we want to try not to ground loop the aircraft. Tail loop, whatever. That thing you do when you... Oh, taking the parking brake off is, comedy. Not exactly smooth conditions. But if we can get over this little hill, I'm not used to sticking my head up over the cowl like this as much either. The tail wheel part of this is going to be the hardest part. Okay. Here in a minute you'll see the rocks that are the presenting difficulty. So we're going to have a downhill roll, and then we want to try to have at least 7 feet of elevation, altitude, before we try to go over those rocks that they've conveniently placed in the middle of the runway. I think I'll be able to taxi right through here. We'll find out. We'll find out how realistic the damage is on this thing here in a second. We made it. Oh, boy, that's rough. Okay. Gosh, I can't imagine why they consider this airport closed. It's in the charts in the real world. Whoa. This is comedy. Okay. The old tail dragger move. Stick your head out the side. This looks manageable. Hey, Trash. Thank you for tuning in. pretext to how and why you're there. Yes. Yeah. So this, for those who are just joining, this is the next leg of the Utah Alphabet Challenge, a thing I designed on Pilot Edge. We're not logged into Pilot Edge right now, so this is only like a short flight, so no need to be on Pilot Edge for it, and I'm not actually trying to get the challenge certification on Pilot Edge. But basically, it's all a set of flights in the state of Utah from basically A through Z and then 0 through 9. And different airports and different towns are the lettering schema. And in this case, we're going from L, LaSalle Junction, to M, Mineral Canyon, which is one of the coolest airports in the state, and one that I've actually been to, not landed at, but did a low pass over, and we've flown there in the sim a couple times, which is down in the middle of the canyon on the Green River outside of Moab. And anyway, I flew here from Kanab in X-Plane a couple days ago, a week ago, and this airport is on the charts. It's in the nav database, but it's not in Flight Simulator 2024. So I placed myself here, but of course, according to Flight Simulator, this is just like terrain. So that's how we got here. I have no idea what this takeoff is going to be like. I was sensed that it's not going to be pretty. And we may not get out of here. If we can't get out of here, there's a real airport down the street, up the road a ways, that's still on the charts and operational, and we'll go there and see if we can make that work. But I'm hoping we can get a bumpy enough roll here that maybe the Flight Simulator gods will get us airborne. And if not, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that we'll have prevailing wind that, ooh, that was scary. I'm hoping we'll have prevailing wind that will make this easier for us. But who knows, maybe I went the wrong direction. Maybe we should have tried to take off going uphill. But we're going to find out one way or the other right about now. Come on, baby. You can do it. Get up the hill. See if I can get us turned. She doesn't want to turn. I'm applying differential braking. I'm applying everything I can think of to get it to turn here. We have a nice view of our challenge here, though, don't we? Okay, there we go. Now if I can get us straightened out going this way. Okay. This is not going to go well, I can tell you right now. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, okay, well this is the next leg of that adventure. We're going to want full flaps. We're going to want full power. We're going to want to pray. What's this? Oh, that's flaps. Okay. Here we go. If we ever wanted to have an unrealistic flight model, now's the time. Uh-oh. It wants us to go this way for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, God. I don't think this is good. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're back on track. Full send is right. Okay, so we'll try taking off the other direction this time. I have a feeling that we might just have to relocate. Where are my flaps? Okay. It's nice that it's put us back in the you killed yourself position nice and quickly, though. Okay, so this time we'll get it past these rocks, and then we'll try it. Uh-oh, don't hit the house. I didn't know this was going to be a comedy. Okay. It's very hard to get this thing up. I think picking the tail dragger was a part of a mistake. Go a little easier on the rudder this time. Nope. Tail loop. Let's just see if we can get airborne. Oh man, that was so unrealistic as to be comedic. Okay, hey, we're upward. We're airborne. Let's put the flaps up, shall we? That was comedic. Okay. Woohoo! Next stop, Mineral Bottoms. I don't like how all the mountains are really rounded here. I don't know if there's a way to get the terrain so it's got more detail than this. Is there a setting in X-Plane or in Microsoft Flight Simulator for that, where I can make the terrain have more realistic detail? There probably is, right? There's probably like a level of detail setting that will make these mountains not so rounded, because right now I don't like the way this looks very much. This thing also does not feel like it's flying like a Cessna 182, but that's all right. Maybe I'll pop us into the, because this is really smooth right now. Let me see if I can get some more detail here. Hold on. Okay. Settings. Graphics. VR. You guys are still seeing this, right? Projection. Global rendering quality. Yeah, take me there. Terrain level of detail. Visual quality of the terrain. Higher values of visual management. Yeah, well, it looks like we can go up to higher, so let's go higher. I think 400. See if it turns that into a slideshow or not. Let's try. It might take a second. Still smooth as silk. All right, we'll have that go. Oh, the mesh setting? Wait, so did I pick the right one? It looks like maybe I picked the right one. Trash laser guitars, let me know if I need to go to a different setting back in here to get that. Mesh setting. Let me know if that's a different setting. Well, trim wheel's working. Got that going for us, which is nice. Mesh. Okay, maybe I need to have. Well, that's starting to look more detailed now. So you're telling me there's another setting that's the mesh setting? VR. Global rendering quality. No, it's got to be that, because it's not the object's level of detail that I'm looking for. Okay. Go back to where we were. Oh yeah. No, that seems to have done it. This is looking a lot more realistic now. How do we get down to 80 knots so fast? Let's add a little more throttle then. There we go. All right, so we're just gonna kind of cruise here. And I'm not getting too many stutters. Getting a couple more stutters now than before, but it's not, ooh, I like our pitch. There we go. But this is looking better now. The truss is looking okay on the stream. Flaps are up, right? Yeah. Okay. Graphics are looking great. Good. I'm trying to not move my head so fast because I know it makes for bad watching. Every once in a while my head sticks out the window. Okay, well we have instruments in front of us. It's been a while since I've flown with the 6-pack, I have to be honest. She's very sensitive to the trim too, I'll say that. We can turn off the fuel pump. All right, the approach into Mineral is tricky. You got to fly down into the canyon. And try not to hit anything on the way down. And then you follow the Green River, and then you come around a corner over a little hill, and then the runway's right there, and you got to put it down on the runway. So that's what we're going to be trying to do here. Uh-oh, what was that about? Whoa, I didn't do that. That's wild. Like, I don't know what would cause that. That was a little tricky. Wake turbulence from an airplane that I didn't see, maybe? See, it's things like that where, I don't know, I don't feel like the flight model in this simulation is hugely realistic. Like, I get that there's turbulence, but it's not very often that something blows an airplane sideways like that, like just happened. Now, we've got some cliffs and stuff. I mean, that can be part of it, but I don't know, let's gain a little altitude and see if that makes a difference. Maybe it was updraft, in which case that's possible, in which case that would be really realistic. Looks like we've got our Green River over there. That looks great. Whoa. This is bordering on comedy. Okay. I have to say, so I'm doing this using virtual desktop, streaming to the headset wirelessly, and virtual desktop, I'm using Steam VR because I need to. I was thinking I would need Steam VR to do the to capture the window, but I can capture the Microsoft Flight Simulator window. So I actually don't even need to be using Steam VR. I'm using I could use VDXR, which is even better. But nonetheless, it's working pretty well. I tried to get the Oculus Link to work, and like the computer just now decides it doesn't even want to recognize it, which is bananas. Okay, I know these water retention distillation ponds, whatever they are. I've flown over these before. The mesh is still not quite as high def as I would like. You know, rounded, but it's not so bad. Looks like as we get closer, it gets more clean in its edges. Alright, so I don't know what we just flew over. There's a strip down there somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. That's sort of what Mineral Bottoms is like. Alright. I'm getting a couple little stutters. Again, if I was using VDXR instead of Steam VR, it might not be so bad. Alright, here we are, we're coming up to UT75. Not very far. We've gained a little altitude. Color correction is interesting. Like the Bing maps, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. I really like the Apple maps I can download in X-Plane, but this looks good. Oh, there's another one of our weird All right, so basically we fly up here and then we fly down into the canyon. Then try to find our place to land. Looks like I'm getting my head out the, oh, see, that looks really real. It's this glass that's making it look weird. If I stick my head out the window, it looks beautiful. That's funny. Get your head out the window. Okay, no wonder it didn't look correct. All right. Yeah, I gotta tell you, sharpness is great in the Quest. I can see this really, really well. Again, the occasional stutter, but all told, going all right. Just checking the stream real quick. And yeah. So basically everything I do is a live stream now. I very rarely record videos and put them up. I just don't have the time to edit. So anything I want to do, I just live stream it. And sometimes that's, you know, in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's on a weekend day, and sometimes at the end of the day. So sorry it's not more predictable than that, but it's sort of the way it works. Okay, so if I'm remembering where Mineral Bottoms is, we're going to want to go down in the canyon over here. If we're coming from the Moab side, which is up there, and then we're going to want to come up and come down the canyon this way, because if I remember correctly, Mineral is about right there, but we want to come down that canyon. Yeah, and that's the big turn you have to make. Okay, so Mineral is down, if you can see the pointer. I presume you can see the pointer. The pointer? You can. So Mineral is right down in there, and then when you take off heading downriver, you got to make a turn before you run into that cliff. So we're going to go this way, and we're going to drop into the canyon up here, and then come down the canyon. That'll be the plan. Almost there. And again, if you're wondering what this looks like in the real world, it looks like that. That is pretty remarkable. I gotta tell you, VR is... And I'm pleased with the Quest 3. Like, I know there's sharper, more amazing headsets out there, but I like the way this thing works. Okay. So we gotta start thinking about what we're gonna do here. So, make sure I can feel my flap handle. Where is it? It's right there. Okay, and there's throttle. Make sure we're full mixture here. Actually, let's lean for our best RPM. No, let's just go full rich. We've been full prop the whole time. Okay. I wonder what landing speed in this thing is. Looking at this, probably about 65 or 70. Probably not far from the 172. So we'll slow her down. Start making our descent. Mineral is down there. Yeah. Okay, now it gets interesting. Not a real great go-around opportunity at this particular airport, so we want to try to get it right the first time. Take out more power. Got plenty of airspeed. Ooh, we almost hit that. It's weird how it loses power and then really the bottom drops out. There we go. Again, real world colors are much more like that. I don't like these green, this green windshield. Let's keep it about here, sort of like this. I'd like to get it set at forget it power setting, but I'm kind of struggling with that. We can go ahead and put in 1 notch of flaps though. Yeah, and then I guess my throttle handle just fell forward, so I had a bunch of juice. Huh. Kind of fighting the airplane here. That's one thing I've noticed in Microsoft Flight Simulator is a lot of the time I feel like I'm fighting the aircraft. In the real world, I never really felt much like I was fighting the airplane. I felt like I had to trim the airplane. We came in one canyon too early, by the way. We should have been coming down canyon to our right, but that's okay. We'll make this work. I can see where that bend in front of us is the bend just before you get to Mineral Bottoms. It's taking us forever at 100 knots to get there. Out the window of it. In the window of you. In fact, we'll carry a little more power through here. This would be regarded as quite dangerous in the real world, coming down this lock canyon. Okay, now we're getting ready. We're going to come over this little knoll, we're going to put in the rest of our flaps. Let's be ready to do that. We'll take out a little power while I'm at it. Let's get us down around 80. Whoa. Alright, flaps are in. There's the Green River. That's the way we should have come down. That way, but okay. This thing sinks like a rock when you get at a certain power level. Okay, and we're going to come right around this little hill. And then we're going to make a left, and the runway is going to be right in front of us. Again, real world colors. Okay, here we go. It's going to get interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh yeah, and this is a tail dragger. I forgot. That's going to make this landing even more, how shall I say, interesting. A little more power. There we go. Sudden gust of wind. We're looking for the airport. There it is. This thing does not turn for shit. Come on. Sorry if there's families watching. Alright. Here we go. The runway is not that short in the real world, but okay. Now we'll just be a glider. Well, maybe a little power. No rudder control for some reason. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Come on. No, don't do that. No, 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 come back. Oh. We didn't prop strike, thanks to the simulator gods. I mean, we prop strike like crazy, but okay. Well, that was wild. Hey Joe, I appreciate it. The only problem is I don't believe the Brunner. Well, so I fly with a. You can't see it because I'm in VR, but I fly with a side stick because my cockpit is configured as a Cirrus. So there's side sticks right and left. I don't have a traditional yoke, and the side sticks that are available as sorry, I'm trying to do 3 things at once here. That are available for the Cirrus configuration are too long to fit in the simulator where I have it sitting right now in my house. But I would love force feedback. I just don't have one that works for me. Okay, well that was weird. This airplane flies really weird. It feels like a giant fluffy marshmallow. Again, real colors, red, nice, pretty. Inside the cockpit colors, green, unattractive. Flies like a big fluffy marshmallow. And in addition, I clearly have 0 experience in the real world landing a tail dragger. But we made it work. Like, we survived thanks to the forgiving software that ignored the fact that we prop strike the aircraft on takeoff and landing. Okay. But we know how to turn it off. That's easy to do. And I've got a real key in the real world. Come on. Doesn't want to go all the way. And of course, they don't have this configured, so if you turn your hand right, it turns. Turn it left, it turns. That'll drive me insane. I'm going to make a cocktail. Prop still hasn't stopped. Come on. Why is the prop still running? Oh, because its magnetos are still on? I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. All right, well, that's one for the books. That was one in the this would not go this way in the real world category. But I wanted to see what it would look like in Flight Simulator, and hey, it looks pretty good. Again, I'm not a fan of these flight models like that. It's just this airplane, which is a big Cessna 182. Is like, this is a solid airplane. It doesn't move around like that unless you're in serious winds. And this thing felt like it was just all over the place. So, didn't have any rudder control. Anyway, I think what I'm learning with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is you have to have the right flight model, the right aircraft with the right flight model for it to fly like the real thing. But it was still fun, and visually, I don't think any of us can deny it was very attractive. So, Cessna, good to see you. I'm sorry this is the end of the stream. I'm checking out, but if you are here for the first time, I record about once a week, and that's a very, but Joe, if I go away from the side sticks, I'll give you a call, because I would love to try it. And if I go away, hopefully I'll do at least one more stream this weekend. I've got a new light mod that I downloaded that I'm eager to try, so who knows, maybe tonight I'll do some post-movie night, end of the evening, 2 beers in, night mod flying. Not to be done in the real world, by the way. Never mix alcohol in aviation. All right, well, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll be interested to go back and see how comedic this looks. But we made it work. We made it work. And everybody else, thanks for watching. Thanks.